Good morning and welcome to Elemental D&D's new show, Reimagined. Just like our main campaign, this will be using an elemental homebrew system for each of the players. Instead of typical D&D 5e classes, each player gets to pick an element. Along with that, each person in this group has had their elemental power happen out of nowhere and out of control, and they're going to go to a school that helps people contain their abilities. That means wild magic incoming. We're going to start off with each character saying goodbye to their families as their own little form of character introduction before they actually get to the school. Uh-oh, that's the bell. Hope you all enjoyed the episode. Alright, so, hello! And where our adventure is going to start off is in the city of Wazzalily. As you get closer in, you start to see a city full of mechanics, steam-powered things powered by electric and water-type gnomes that are just making new creations and seeing what explosion causes the next invention. We start to go into a smaller sector of it to a particular shop, where inside is a, would you like to describe your character, Kalia?
Okay. My character appears to be a tabaxi, but a little bit more strange. She's not quite as cat-like as they usually are, and she's got two tails. She dresses in a white button-down shirt that's opened a few buttons down, suspenders, and some high-water pants that her shirt is tucked into.
Would you like to describe your shop?
It's very crowded. It's a crowded toy shop. Dolls line the walls in the main area. But there are display tables with more common toys, you know, little wind-up toys, just simple cars, pretty much anything you can craft that people would love to play with is sold here.
So in this nice room, you hear the door creaking as and it opens up and you see a man with long flowing black hair in a nice like Hawaiian print flower shirt and like short beige shorts, a humanoid man walking in and looking around at the shop. And you get the regular customer thing where he's looking over at some of the stuff and then his head turns pretty quickly to a different area and is looking over at a new area now and he's walking over. Hello. Nice shop you have here.
Thanks, it was my father's. What can I do for you?
I'm honestly just a tourist. I'm just looking around. There's a lot of glass eyes.
Well, welcome to our beautiful city.
Thank you. It's great. The toy train ride here was really something.
Everybody loves that one.
Yeah. What kind of enchantments do you have on the dolls?
A what?
Oh, is none of this enchanted?
No.
Oh,
I don't do any magic stuff.
Okay,
I'd love to learn, but
Oh.
it's just never really got that spark.
Huh. I might have an offer for you. I actually run the school of Cihl. It's, has a very prominent tinkering class, and it definitely deals with magic.
I think I've actually heard of that place.
Well, I'm gonna be right back. And as quickly as that stranger has walked in, he's already shoved the door open and is running outside. As you see, walking in is a gnome with like hair that has been burned off in several areas and large glasses that go several inches forward, is carrying in large stacks of wood and other metal like gears and bobs. Daffodil, sweetie, I got you new supplies.
Oh, she's gonna hop up and immediately go pick those up. She's hench and also twice his size.
Yeah, so as your dad walks into the room, he definitely looks like he is having difficulty carrying this. It's like 5 pounds. It's not much to you. You lift it up with like one hand and your hand just encompasses a variety of it. There was a guy going outside. He started shouting about some sort of school thing going on.
Well, yeah, it's just some tourist.
Oh, all right. well, I got you this little spring. Look at how strong it is. And you watch as your dad goes up to a wall and presses the spring in, and it starts pushing his feet back.
And it's so small.
It's so small. Imagine how high you could get something jumping with this.
We should put those on shoes.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna go start getting to the leather worker. I will be back.
Yeah.
A tiny bit of time goes by, and soon enough, the Hawaiian shirt man is walking back in. So it seems like your town is, very, very generous, and, how would you like to start at my school this, coming term? It would help you out with tinkering.
I wasn't sure it was something I could afford.
Your town is very generous.
I would love nothing more. I could take this shop to the next level.
Wonderful. So how about this? I'll come pick you up tomorrow, and I'll actually take you to the school. This term's starting soon, and...
Already?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't start for like another week or so, but I'm going there now, and I could help get you transported there with ease.
I'll get packed.
All right. I'll be back tomorrow. For now, I'm going to go check out some of those other inventions that are going on in this town.
You don't want to, like, buy anything? You're all a little kid at home? Look at this pink horsey.
Oh, I'll buy the pink horse.
That's what I thought.
And, so with that, we're going to start going away from Wazzalily and start going into a new town. There is a very prominent forest that is aligning this town, as we're going to start to get into Lucas's character. Your mother is clicking her fingers together very quickly, whereas your father seems to be cutting a steak into tinier and tinier pieces, with you at the other end of the table. Would you like to describe your character, Lucas?
She is a young woman, a little over 5.5 feet in stature, with a figure distributed most generously towards the circumference of her hips, but with ample left over to allocate elsewhere. Her face is sort of like plump and heart-shaped. She's all like rosy cheeks and pretty warm brown eyes and a dusting of freckles. And she's got thick waves of like strawberry blonde hair that fall just like a little past her shoulders when they're down. Right now that's just up and casual, and she's just in, casual dinner clothes, nothing too fancy, not too many layers of petticoats or anything, just, the basics. And she smells exactly like you might expect. Sun-ripened peaches and vanilla and wildflowers. She's about 5'8.5" with the heels. Very distinctly less without them.
So in this room that you're having dinner, it is aligned with books and a nice table, an actual nice tableware set out ready. The amount of dishes that are left in the drying rack and like around in actual cases implies a lot more than 3 people to this household, but this is an important thing, and they're getting ready to say their goodbyes for what could be a little bit of time. Now, honey, are you sure you're gonna be all right with the traveling folk?
Oh, Mother, people make that journey all the time. I will be just fine. Leroy's a strong, dependable young man. I'll be safe under his carriage driving.
I know he's quite kind and quite caring, and he looks over that horse quite near impossibly well. But just make sure you're right. I will be wishing for your letters each evening, darling.
Oh, of course. Mother, I'm gonna miss you so much. I do not know what I'm gonna do without you.
Oh, darling. Please make sure to bring back some new books for the little ones.
Oh, of course. I'll bring back as many as I can carry. I'll be back to visit just as soon as I can get away from my studies.
Oh, darling. Do you need help packing? I saw plenty of boxes lining up, but
I'm just about finished. Just a couple more petticoats to stuff in here and there.
Outside, there is a caravan that is just about lined with boxes.
There's hat boxes and just looks like shopping bags like with tags like still on that haven't even been like fully unpacked yet, just kind of crammed in there, you know. The carriage driver is just sort of like reassuring his horse, you know, and kind of like wiping some sweat off his brow after. Just pulling all this in down the driveway.
Your father has like a large beard, and now that like his food is practically completely minced and would work better in anything other than like a fine steak to like pick up and bite into, he's now adjusted himself to like just running his hand along his beard and his like nice-ish suit, and he's just like doing that. His hand moves down his beard, then it goes to like his tie, and he's like readjusting his tie.
Now, Papa, don't you fret now. Look at yourself. You're wrinkling your tie all up. I will be just fine, you hear me? It's nothing you and Mama haven't raised me for.
Yeah, I just, I'm thinking that it just take care of yourself. If anything happens, we'll take you back home immediately, alright?
Oh, of course, Papa. And it's you and Mom you best worry about without me here to take care of you. And you look after all those boys.
It's gonna be quite a thing trying to run this school without you, but I'm sure we'll think of something.
Last tearful squeezes and hugs and, you know, face touching and sniffles and, you know, the whole thing. The mom actually looks like she's handling it slightly better than the dad. Like, the dad's trying not to cry, and the mom's like, you know, buck up, hubby. Come on.
Yeah, as they're getting ready, they're actually starting to get ready to, like, send you off the next day. As the rest of the caravan is starting to gather up in mass, and your father is like furrowing his eyes like so deep that it almost looks like his eyebrows are like his eyelids. It's just like, ugh. And like constantly looking around as if surprised, and like, oh, there's so many carts, there's so many people, there's a lot of noises in the distance. Oh, we're ready to go. And your mother is like, goes over to you with a bunch of flowers and starts gently putting them in through your hair and weaving them in. And then as she walks back over to your father, she like sort of like kicks the back of his heel and like nudges him, and like you see him like stiffen up and like, yep, I need to be strong.
She's definitely gonna have like a little box of like carefully preserved dried flowers by the time she makes the entire journey. They'll be dry by the time she gets to the school.
And with that, we're actually going to go away from you in your small town that we'll get a name of later. There is a name for it, but I'm not going to drop that here just yet. We're going to go over to Edwin's family. What we see is Paler's Pantry is the name of this little, not bar, but Grubhub, food area, whatever you want to call it, because I can't remember names of things. And in it, it's actually a little bit weird because no one orders food. You just get what you get. Food is just kind of like thrown around the room like, oh, here's a plate of steak. Do you want this? Okay, pass it along if you don't. And as it is going through in a booth that isn't connected to a larger table that your family is sitting at, you see your two twins who are sitting there passing a ball of lightning back and forth between each other. Full tabaxi, exact twins, except for when you look at their face, each of them has a darker spot of brownish black, each covering opposite eyes. As they're passing this electricity back and forth, a tortoiseshell tabaxi walks by and sort of like grabs the shoulder of one, and they are very quickly to like stiffen up their backs and smile at this figure and stop before it gets to the table, which has your father and mother sitting at it. Your mother is also a tortoiseshell, while your father is fully gray. They're sitting around passing food around. No, I don't quite want that. Okay, this looks good. Would you like to describe your character?
Yeah. Edwin is a tabaxi, about 5'9". He has a sort of like orange and white like tabby coat. He's sitting at the table. His posture's like a little bad. He's kind of like slouching into his seat, like elbows on the table, just waiting, right? And he's got a kind of bulky vest and like cargo shorts is what he's rocking. The vibes of like Sora or like Xenoblade dude's name Shulk, the weird like bulky shorts and vest. I don't know. He's got a long tail. He's got cat ears. He's a regular tabaxi boy sitting there at the table, I suppose, picking at whatever comes to him.
I'd say it's like a really hefty, like 3-inch thick steak that's just obnoxiously large.
He mumbles to himself, "I'm not gonna finish this, but okay," as he takes like just a bunch of like really tiny, like kind of timid bites of it.
You feel a slight zap along your shoulders for a second as one of the twins looks over at you. Are you talking about that? Or are you talking about college?
Okay, well, I'll do my best, but I'm referring to this ginormous steak. Could you finish this? It's not just me.
Oh
This
my
is
goodness.
ginormous, right?
Give it to me, meow.
Okay, well, I'm still eating. You can finish when I'm done, but I'm kind of like busy here with it.
As Emily keeps like prodding you for the food, you see Ernest, the other twin, that is just sitting there laughing, and Ergo, the eldest sibling, is just holding their like hand over like one of their eyes and just like, all right, you all need to stop that now. Soon enough, you are stopped getting prodded by Emily.
Thanks, Ergo. Yeah,
You're welcome. You're going to do great in school. It's really amazing there. There's so much that you can lead off to just from this. Like, no worries. When we head over tomorrow, it's going to be fine.
yeah, I just don't know what to expect, you know? But
The first day can be a bit, but after that, all uphill.
yeah. Wait. Doesn't that mean it's worse?
I mean, I don't want to say all downhill because that sounds bad too.
Yeah, okay.
Don't worry about it.
Well, I'm sure I'll manage. Hopefully.
With that, Ernest goes over and starts sitting beside you now, no longer taking up the booth with the other twin, and has like a cup of water and is like swirling it around, making a little like a vortex in the center of it, just like as you do with glasses of water, you know, and is like very quickly like nudging you. Gonna learn some new tricks?
Yeah, I sure hope so. I mean, it's about time, right?
I'm so excited. I wanna see your new tricks, and then maybe you could join us for pass.
Oh, yeah, that sounds fun. I never really said anything, but kind of jealous. I want to throw a little ball of destruction over the place. That sounds fun.
Oh my goodness. I last tournament I was in, I got knocked out. You should have seen the size of after it went back and forth for like a whole minute. It's terrifying. But you're gonna do great.
Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna do my best.
Any day now, you're just gonna master things even. Oh, I'm so excited for you. That's such a good experience.
What, getting just blasted or or learning?
Learning, of course.
I see. I can't wait to see what I'll be able to do.
With that, your mom and dad start to try and like give a talk, but they both kind of cut into each other a bit. You hear one of them start, and then the other one starts at the same time, and they're just like, ah. And soon enough, Ergo actually just goes over to you and places like a hand on your shoulder. It's going to be great. We got your bags packed, and you're going to meet some fun classmates. Honestly, if you want to, you can always just come over to my classroom whenever you need a moment to get away from it all. Anytime. I got some really fun potions if you want to try out flying. If you want to try out sinking into shadows or anything, we'll figure it out. It's going to be great. No worries.
You can see he's still listening, but as once the flying potion was mentioned, his eyes did like almost like glaze over a little bit. He's like, oh, that's fun. Oh, I want that.
So soon enough, you all leave this mess of noise, as it is mostly you and Ergo who are getting ready to hop on a caravan to leave for the school. It's been kind of rare for Ergo to come back to the family with recent events of being very busy at this school, but since they've been back, things have been pretty great. And with that, we're going to leave your group and we're going to get to a new person. Now, we're going to go to a different tavern. It's a shut down one. At least it has no customers on the inside. What it has is an overgrow of vegetation. There are flowers lying in vases that are hung along the ceilings all the way along the sides as if replacing lanterns. What we see is a half-orc woman who is carrying down 50 pounds of fertilizer and other things and drops it down, and then heads back upstairs and starts to go into a little side room, or at least knocks on the door. We're going to go to you, Avery. So, Levi, would you like to describe your character as you were looking into a mirror for one of the last times before you leave for school?
Sure. Avery is small. Avery is 5'5", and they're generally, their whole vibe is soft. They're wearing a very large, oversized, like hand knit sweater. They along with a very soft-looking scarf. They've got very dark black hair, piercing blue eyes, and they've got two very small, not even half a foot long, antlers on their forehead. And generally, they also look just absolutely haggard. Bags under their eyes, messy, unkempt hair, just very tired.
So you hear,
Yeah?
"Sweetie, I think it's almost time for you to get going."
Yeah, I know. I'm almost done. I'll be right out. And Avery will brush themselves off, try to straighten their hair with minimal effort. It doesn't really help that much, really. They'll grab all their stuff and head outside the room.
So, you've been staying at this place for like about a week now, and ever since you have, they had completely shut down the tavern to mostly just hang out, deal with you, and spend a bit more time. You're not that far away from the school as you are actually in the city of Cihl. You've never seen more densely populated flowers. It's just full. And she looks over. "Do you need any help carrying luggage down, darling?"
I wouldn't mind if you would get my suitcase. It's kind of heavy, and I've got a lot of other stuff in my arms, which Avery does. They're hauling like a large bag full of books and journals, with pages barely keeping themselves within the bindings of the actual journals, basically almost falling out.
"Sure thing, darling."
Yeah, take that downstairs for me if you would. Thank you so much.
"You're welcome. I'm right here if you ever need a place to come back and stay at. I know this is a big city. I know there's so much stuff going on, whether it be a festival or whether it be them students causing a little bit of mischief. And I'm still gonna be right here."
Thank you. I'll make sure to stop by whenever I can.
"Well, I'm gonna wish you the best of luck, but are you sure everything's okay? I mean, you looked a little bit of a mess when you finally made it to the city, and scarce to say that you're doing all right? You're okay with these changes?"
Avery running their hands through their hair, just like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine. It's been a difficult week, month, season.
"All right, well, glad to know. Before you head out, I got a small gift for you. I know a lot of the plants when they're a little bit too close to you didn't happen to fare that well, but this one seems to do just fine." And she goes over and she shows you a potted plant that seems to have a blue flower growing out of it, and it almost looks like every so often you can see a snowflake falling off of it.
Wow. Where's this from? What kind of flower is this?
It's called a snowdrop. It's a personal creation of my own.
This is
New
incredible.
vegetation. Well, it should be fine even in your cold hands. So,
I will keep this with me and keep it wherever I end up sleeping, I suppose. Thank you. And sorry about your plants that were close to me.
It's no problem, sweetie. Velma's waiting for you outside. She'll take you over to the school, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you soon. Thank you. And I'll turn around and walk out.
As you go outside, you see a dragonborn that seems to have pitch black scales and a bit of like a gray suit on that almost looks like ashen. It's a little bit too formal to be driving a carriage, and he seems to know it as he's like looking down at his shoes in the carriage. All right, let's go.
Yeah, sure. And they'll very hurriedly stuff all their stuff in the cart.
And with this, we're going to get to the last person. How about you just go ahead and describe your character from the get-go before I describe the scene a little bit?
If you were to look at her up, either in promotional materials or as part of the newspaper, if you will, you would see chiseled face from a family of like Medusa, Madar, medfolk of just like snake hair, dark skin, striking yellow eyes, all like piled up neatly, lots of expensive jewelry and tailored suits, and the like, just it's the It family essentially. Lots of money, knows where to put it, and really put together. Currently, very much in the camp of... Oh, by the way, snake hair goes definitely down to, like, tramp stamp level mid-back. Normally, if you're doing, like, promo shots, it's all, like, piled up and cascades beautifully. Right now, the easiest equivalency is if Cousin It was made out of snakes. Very much a just pile of writhing snakes shielding just an oversized hoodie, oversized sweatpants, and really beat up tennis shoes.
So, currently, you are traveling with your mom and dad, and, like, your mother is just the most beautiful snake lady. At least she's been on the magazine for it about the last 10 times. And is very willing to express that. Oh, I've won. I'm so surprised.
Absolutely shocking, Mom. You've won for the last 700 years.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm getting this news now. While we're on our way, they didn't need to message me in my brain. And then as soon as, like, you can tell that whoever is alerting her has stopped, she looks over to you. Goodness, wow, it looks like my year's getting even busier, sweetie. How are you doing?
Well, we could say that I'm doing great, feeling fine, but as it stands, I am hurtling towards what is effectively a paid-for prison for me to be trapped in for however long it takes for whatever to happen. You and Dad have been here for 2-3 days, and I don't get any time to spend with you. Instead, I'm going to be shunted off with the rest of who knows what. How do you think I'm feeling, Mom? Hazard a guess?
Honey, those 2 or 3 days were amazing. It's been so many years since we've gotten that.
Yep.
Also, I think you're being a little bit traumatic at hurdling. I think we're going a little too slow right now. Hey, Reggie, would you please speed it up for us? As outside of the caravan is an earth elemental in a suit who is running as fast as he can, and is like, actually not as fast as he can, as he starts to pick up the pace, and then the caravan actually starts to shake, and like your mom and dad both have like wide eyes for a second as it looks like the caravan is going to like topple sideways before it finally like straightens out for a bit. Your father, a very conventionally attractive snake man, who every single day is getting sent the newest line of like watches and suits and other things, and has been on so many like talk shows and other things about how to be like successful. And he's looking down and reading a paper. It appears I'm going to need to be a judge on an architecture show. Oh my goodness, they do not know how to judge ruins.
Oh. However, are we going to manage to judge a bunch of rocks in the ground? What are you gonna do? Add flat screens or swimming pools or ice skating rinks? Where are we gonna bastardize and commodify this now? What are we doing? What's on the top of your list, Dad?
Not my culture, but I'll judge it harshly. It could never compare to our home.
Oh. Adder just like piles his hair further and further around him like a fucking shield.
Now, Adder, I need you to know that we're gonna have somebody send you a letter at least every day. We do care, and if we could be there for you the whole time, we would. But someone's gotta judge this architecture.
Yep. Someone sure does. Does it have to be you, though? I mean, you've done it, and a lot of other things, for a while. The last 12 years you've been gallivanting around, and Mom's been gallivanting around, and, you know, didn't you want to maybe take some time off with your family, hang out?
I need you to know how important this is. This could have a movie adaptation.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Let me follow up. And if it has a movie adaptation, I think I get it right. If it has a movie adaptation, that means Mom's gonna star in it, and you're gonna write the music in it, and then probably have some sort of cameo, collect all of the royalties, and then spin that off into what? A televised, an additional spin-off TV series, and maybe a series of novels? Is that the plan?
Yeah, we'll definitely, I'll have to direct that, but it will definitely make a spin-off show of one of the side characters that 5 people cared about, so that then they can say they were right about them being the best character. Oh, it seems like the caravan's stopping. Haven't been to the city of Cihl in quite a while. As the door opens up, the caravan is already getting surrounded by people that are like, wait, is that them? Is that the Lapide family? Oh my god, that's the Lapide. Oh my god, that's Reggie. That's Reggie. Reggie pulls the cart, and it's already getting surrounded, and your mother is the first one. Oh goodness, it seems we've drawn fans. And she goes out, oh my goodness, are you all here? Oh my goodness, I can't believe we have such great fans like you. We're just trying our best to be wonderful people for you all.
Reggie, I don't know what they're paying you. Reggie, this is in Primordial. He's like, Reggie, I don't know what they're paying you, Reggie, but I'll double it if you just keep running. Just run it. Just run into them. They've got money. Just run them all over. It's fine. It's just go.
Boss, there's too many people. I don't know if I can make it through them.
Oh, right.
There's so many people.
I know, and I wouldn't.
Oh my goodness. I think that's like 300 feet back.
I wouldn't want you to have that on your conscience. I'm sorry. That's fine.
Boss.
That's fine. This is
Boss,
fine.
if you want me to, I could maybe throw you past the crowd. I might be able to throw you over them.
Adder looks at just like the stuff that his parents have packed for him, multiple chests and trunks of things, and he just like picks up a ratty backpack full of just like clinking vials and what would be the world's equivalent of the most like weeaboo TV show, and he's just like, yeah, throw me.
As horrifyingly as it is to say it, this is like semi-regular. You've gotten quite good at your landings.
He ties his hair back, like wiggles his shoulders a little bit. He's like, yeah, let's go. Just hard as you can. Just pitch me somewhere.
So with a cacophony of screaming over your parents and everything about this whole situation, the crowd is making such a large noise that nobody can hear the noise of a rock jutting out and shooting you. and by the time it starts to lose its momentum for up, it lands on a roof, and you take no fall damage as you just now have to, like, get down from this building of this tavern that's like, oh, okay, here's the door. Okay, Reggie's a very good shot.
Yep. You know who's gonna pay for that? Not me. And then he, like, smashes a couple, like, shingles on the roof as he clambers down. Oops, sorry. That broke too.
Oh, whoops.
Might be broke.
We're gonna get to the dorms. The dorm situation has two people that actually technically get to the dorms first. And that would be Daffodil and Becca, as you both are with a large amount of supplies starting to push it into a room. And as you look into the room, have you guys ever had those friends that, like, they're growing up and they just got, like, a king-size bed or something, and it literally takes up their entire room that was just made for a little kid?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, but with, like, 2 bunk beds, and then in the center there's a regular bed. There's a nightstand on each side of that regular bed in the center, and then in the walls just before it gets to the beds, there's 2 closets, and that's, like, the entire space.
Are we arriving at the same time?
Yes, Daffodil and Becca, you are both arriving. I would say Becca is already inside with, like, 20 boxes across the 5 different beds and, like, trying to work out how to space this as you are walking in with your own boxes, Daffodil.
She's definitely like looks like slightly frazzled, you know, like a couple curls have like come out of some hairpins because she's like trying to she's already like tried to pack some stuff under the bed and had to take it out and like repack it, and is like trying to like, she has the most focused look on her face in the world, like she's just trying to figure out how to Tetris all this in. And then she looks up and she sees Daffodil and just like drops the hat box she's holding. Oh, please tell me you are one of my new dorm mates. I have been just dying to make your acquaintance.
Hi. Yeah, you're the only one here right now. Is it just us, or how many people was it?
There are 2 other beds. The principal didn't tell me I would be sharing the space with.
There are 3 other beds.
Oh, it's okay if you don't know how to count. Where's school?
I beg your pardon. I actually educate children in numbers and letters. I meant 2 other beds besides ours, of course. Oh my God! I beg my pardon. I beg your.
3.
Well, besides yours and mine. Well,
There are 5 beds. Do you need to like take a lie down? Like,
okay.
are you all right?
I didn't notice that one over there, I suppose. I just got in. I haven't had much of a chance to look around, but I do beg your pardon. I am Rebecca Amy Madeline Madison, but you sure should call me Becca.
That's great, because I won't remember all of those names.
Oh, that's quite all right.
Daffodil?
Oh, what a lovely name. I'm just charmed to make your acquaintance.
Do you know any of the other people who are going to be joining us here?
No, I haven't had the pleasure of meeting anyone but you so far. I am so excited. It's such a modern arrangement, this whole cohabitation thing. My father will be on a state, but we'll keep that from him in the letters, won't we?
I don't think I'll be writing your father.
Well, I imagine not.
I'm just messing with you. You're so cute, like a doll. Do you like dolls?
I adore them. Yeah, they always have such beautiful little dresses. I'm like, can you make this in a size ×5?
You know, I make the dresses for the dolls, so I might be able to try, but that's great because I'm going to be setting up a lot. I mean, they're my babies.
You're a doll maker? Oh, that is just the most charming thing in the world. I'm an educator myself, like I said, but the tables have turned for the moment, and I am just so thrilled to have the opportunity to broaden my education.
I'm so excited. I'm going to get to learn to do things. I'm going to try to enchant the toys that I make. I'm going to make the best toys in all of Wazzle Lily.
How sweet. What a fine ambition. I cannot wait to see them.
The principal said her room, like, got bigger, right? It's not this forever. So I've got a lot of dolls.
Yeah. Oh, we may have to do some consolidating.
I guess I could leave some in boxes for now, but I'll have to rotate them so they don't get jealous.
I understand. I feel the same way about some of my hats.
Sometimes it feels like they have a mind of their own. If I leave them out of the spotlight for too long, sometimes they'll just end up on the floor of my shop.
Oh dear. Sounds like they may be just a little enchanted already.
Yeah, it's probably just my big brother moving them or something. He checks by the shop sometimes, though he's got no mind for tinkering.
Oh, when I was a little girl, I did used to play pretend that my dolls would move around during the night and have little tea parties and such of their own.
So with that, as you all are meeting each other, I'm gonna say that you guys get acquainted. You guys have a bit of time before the rest gets here. It is now officially orientation day, and everybody is coming to. The first place that people want to go is to their dorm rooms to get their stuff put away and everything like that. And this is the day that Adder, Avery, and Edwin are coming in.
Has it been a day?
Yeah, so this is now the official day that you guys are all coming in for orientation. You are being led by Ergo as the rest of you are coming about and finding your room. You all start to stumble upon your room together as you open it up, filled with dresses, hats, and dolls lining the room as the three of you come in.
Adder looks straight ahead, but you'll notice all of the snakes on his head all start looking in different directions to stare at the fucking dolls.
Avery will do a 180 and say, I have to go talk to the principal. I'll be right back.
Alright.
As you turn around to walk away, there is a elven teacher walking towards you that seems to be walking towards your dorm room. This elven teacher has light grayish hair that is going down long across one side, like down her chest, and the left side of her head is shaved, and she has light gray eyes that are like very almost cataracts full, and she is walking with a large blue staff that seems to be made entirely of gemstones and is walking towards them and is walking towards you.
My wife?
My.
Yeah, so...
Our wife.
My wife?
I get we found the craft storage room and the costume department, but I'm looking for my dorm.
Oh, you are such a laugh. Hi there. I am one of your new dorm mates, I presume. I am Rebecca Amy Madeline Madison. Well, you sure shall call me Becca if you want, or Miss Madison if that's just a little too familiar for you.
Well, Rebecca Amy Madeline Madison. Hi. And Adder just walks by her.
Oh, I love your hair. It's so striking. And she kind of slightly dodges away in case one actually is striking.
It very much does hiss at you.
Striking.
Hello there.
Yeah, about the only vacant area is like the beds.
So, sorry, remind me, there was one bunk bed or two?
There's 2 bunk beds and 1 bed in the center that is just regular.
It's
Okay.
like 2 pairs of bunk beds.
Edison points to the Edison, excuse me. Adder points to the regular bed.
Uh-oh.
Adder points to the regular bed and he's like, unless somebody wants to be crushed in their sleep by these beds collapsing, that one's mine.
Oh, well, that makes sense. You do have a few more heads than the rest of us.
Hilarious. And he piles his stuff on the bed.
Were you and Becca sharing a bunk together while everybody wasn't here yet?
I don't know, that'd be cute.
I
but I know
probably, yeah.
she wants a bottom bunk, and underneath there's just you can see the glint of more eyes of dolls under the bed.
Horrifying.
Oh, what a horror show!
It wasn't actually creepy until you said that.
Oh, that's great.
So, Avery, you're starting to walk away from the group to go see the principal, and you're stopped partway by what seems to probably be a teacher, as this lady walks forward. Oh, hello there. Are you one of the students of this dorm?
I mean, that's what I thought, but I think there's been some kind of mistake.
Oh, what kind of mistake would that be?
Well, on the sheet that I was given that listed my room information, it had my room number, and I got to the door that said my room number, but when I looked inside, it was filled with miscellaneous storage items, let's say. I'm not sure if it's fit for habitation.
Let's go. Before she can even get in the side of it, you see her tapping her staff along the ground for a bit. Yeah, that seems like a lot.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of people in that room.
Uh-huh.
Like more than
I'm sure it couldn't be. Well, okay. I'm your homeroom teacher. I'm here to take care of you all. So let's try and get this figured out.
Thank you.
I've missed her.
And she starts to walk back to the room with you, and she walks in almost like a semi mechanical sense. Like she has a very standard way of walking that seems regular, and then not regular, that seems automatic. And as Akai makes it to the dorm, hello everyone, I am to be your homeroom teacher. And as she says that, you watch as a tortoiseshell tabaxi runs into a frame of the doorway. Akai, I'm sorry, Akai. I'm actually going to be the homeroom teacher of this class. Yeah, sorry about that. It's my little brother, and I'm gonna be
Down with nepotism.
taking
I want
care
the
of this
lady.
class.
Edwin pipes up a little bit like, oh, yeah, hey. There's a lot going on here.
You guys are all kind of huddled together because the most walking space is at the entrance.
Oh, that's so cute. You got family here. Look, we got kind of similar coats. We both got the tabby markings and everything. I'm Daffodil. It's nice to meet you.
I have two tails. I only have one. I'm Edwin. Edwin Brightfang. And he'll extend a hand paw thing to shake.
She shakes your hand. You notice that her claws they're out. They don't go back in.
I see.
I'm gonna be your homeroom teacher, Ergo says, looking towards Akai.
Can we vote
And
on that?
Ergo's sorry, it's already been set in stone with the principal. And I'm not going to be much for actual classes. It's mostly just when we need to get together for certain things and final projects, then we'll get together and we'll help decide on them as a group. And I will also be helping with your day one summoning.
Oh yes, our little dormitory familiar. I was worried about that.
I'm sorry,
I'm
or what?
so excited.
Well, for day one, we're going to be summoning something all together. It's gonna be. Oh, that's our first school assignment. I should really get in on this. Last year I wasn't a homeroom teacher, so I promised to try my best.
Why break the trend?
And Akai is daring daggers into Ergo, just looking over at them, just how about I stay guard for the summoning ceremony, make sure it goes correctly, and then we can all go to the assembly together. And Ergo is just smiling very largely. There is a lot of smile on that expression. Quite, alright, yes, wonderful. So, for your first class assignment, we're all going to summon something together. And in order to do that, it's going to be a different animal from each of your minds, and whatever it comes together as, it's going to be okay. But for now, you each have an hour to get you something to help embody that animal. It could even just be a drawing if need be, but you guys have an hour to do that, and then we'll meet back here if you do need to leave here, and we'll summon it.
Oh, okay. Edwin wants to walk up to Ergo and turn the tables a little bit and be like, your first time as a homeroom teacher, you'll do great. You can tell they can tell like in like that sibling kind of way. While it is like supporting, it's also like a little bit like being kind of a bastard about it.
A little cheeky.
A little bit
yeah,
of
of course.
cheeky little about it.
Wow, that PG-13 went right out the window.
Oh, sorry.
Eli.
There's our first.
We can edit it out in post.
Choose one of the worst
A
ways
cheeky
to.
little swear word.
Alright, Eli has officially been kicked out of the competition.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
What? Who can swear the less? The last.
Yeah.
You get a
So-
wait.
You fool!
Okay, so, what do you all do to try and find a representation of the animal you want to summon?
I pick up a doll.
Okay.
No!
Okay, this is good. You're going. This is getting. This is getting steadily creepier. You are going to curse us.
Oh no!
So, by the way, none of us have spells yet, none of us have cantrips yet, because that's what the
Right.
school's for. So just as a little pre-warning, oh god.
You sound like a Kai right there.
Yes.
Well, Becca's gonna pull out, fish out one of her suitcases of books, and start looking through, like, old, like, fairy tale books.
Okay.
Avery will take out their massive journal. They'll leaf through a couple hundred pages, and they'll stop at a specific page, which is a drawing of a very large mole
Oh no.
with a personal letter attached to it, which they will forcibly separate. Just taking the drawing.
Becca finds a unicorn.
Edwin will reach into a pouch that he keeps on him at all times of like little like souvenirs and trinkets that he just kind of likes, and he will pull out a feather that is like just striped black and white feather that he picked up when he was a very small child.
I can't wait for this horror show. I think as people look over to Adder, he's gonna be like, I want you to seriously consider this for a second. Think real hard. Try for me. And think about the animal, he says, parting his hair, that I might provide to the class. Think about it. Take a second. I know it's a hard one.
It's not like I'm putting a cat in.
Yeah, I'm not putting a cat in either. I mean, I'm just saying.
Sounds like a lack of imagination to me. And Adder just like, wake me up when it's time for the summoning, and flops over.
She kind of just leans in towards Daffodil and whispers, "It strikes me as a puppy sort of person to me."
Pulls out a mouse to bamboozle everyone. Be like, this was my lunch.
Maybe a velvety little Labrador.
I'm gonna let him sleep.
So, with that, there's a large creak of the bed.
Edwin mumbles to no one in particular and like kind of pinches at his fur. If I put my own, would that? That's weird. Anyway.
It would kind of match mine though, so like, I'm not opposed.
If Daffodil actually does throw a fucking doll in with a bunch of cat fur, it's just getting worse and worse.
Bold of you to assume she's not going for skin.
this
I'm
thing's
getting,
going to turn
I'm getting
out, but I'm
steadily more
afraid.
upset with your character's backstory.
Okay, so Ergo draws out this large circle just outside your room because there's not enough room inside of a room. And in the hallway, Akai is like about 30 feet back, just sitting up against the wall, occasionally ticking her staff along the ground or against the wall, just tapping. And Ergo's like, all right, everyone, it seems that we're ready to go. We're ready for the summoning. And I want you all to, 1, roll me a d20,
Jeez.
and 2,
Session.
tell me what you're all putting in.
So, Becca's putting in the little fairy tale book with the picture of the unicorn, but her mind is very much
Okay.
wandering when she's getting ready to do the spell, and she is thinking about like this cute little pony she remembered seeing over the fence. And she's like, ponies would look so cute with unicorn horns. So the picture she presents is one thing, but what's happening in her head might differ slightly.
Adder is going to produce a mouse, eat one, and then toss another one onto the circle and look at people like, what, did you think I was going to throw in a snake?
You baited us.
And Daffodil is going to gently set in a small jester doll.
Oh no.
So we got Jester Doll, Mouse, Unicorn Pony, and last one.
Avery puts in a lovingly sketched drawing of a giant mole with big glasses.
So I'm gonna start this thing off. Mouse ears,
Cute.
human face,
No, damn
I
it.
hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it.
all 4s of mole legs, unicorn horn,
Sick, actually.
a pony body, and wings along its back.
The mole.
Heavy breathing.
Oh my god, the horse with mole legs.
It's like a corgi.
It's a corgi with big fucking mouse ears and a jester face.
Yeah, this is like a terrible manticore.
And it has whiskers, and it also has mouse tail with, along the top of it, feathers jutting
Oh,
out.
that's sick.
Human hands. Human hands.
No, it has mole hands. And it looks around you at you guys with a look of sentience.
Oh,
Teacher,
my God.
I think we need to throw this one away and start over.
That is the cutest thing I have ever seen. Is it safe to touch?
So Ergo just looks over at this creature. Well, that's a familiar. Oh yeah, you can touch it.
I hug it.
Please tell me I get a second
So
try.
it has a unicorn neck that, or a pony neck then, right?
No, it has no neck.
Oh no!
Wait, it would have been so much better with the pony neck.
What is this weird sausage-looking creature?
Yeah, it's just like a face protruding out of the weird horse chest.
Teacher, I am.
You
begging
can't tell
please
whether
tell
you
me
hear
to get
this
a
or
second
not, but
go.
you almost swear that it says "Mother" when you hug it.
Please
the
tell me we can
cutest
try
little
again,
thing.
please.
I don't see what's like so wrong. I mean, probably every familiar is like weird and
Really,
like,
really,
like, super
truly.
crazy.
You think really? Really?
well, if they
You guys
they
hear
all
an
use this,
explosion off
like,
in the distance.
method to create them.
I mean, somebody gave it a weird rat tail.
Rats are cute.
Adder is not gonna say anything. He's just gonna gesture to the horrifying jester face and be like, the rat tail is the problem.
It's cute. Now, why doesn't it have a neck? What happened to the
I
neck?
think maybe we need 6 people, and the 6th person makes the neck.
Oh, you're so right.
Giraffe neck.
You watch as its head starts jutting slightly out like a millimeter.
No.
I'm so
It's
proud
like,
of
oh, they
you.
want me to have a neck. Then I shall.
It has a jester hat on, but it's definitely an appendage.
Oh, oh,
Oh, no, really?
Yeah!
Can you feel a pulse through it?
Yes! Horrifying.
Disturbing.
Oh my god. I pet the hat. So soft.
So Adder's gonna look over at Ergo and be like, okay, so we made the monstrosity. What are we good? Are we done? What is this?
We're done. This is good. It was a good first creation.
Insight check on that fucking lie.
Edwin,
Good and luck.
Edwin like pumps his fist a little. He's like, yes. We made a temple little creature.
How big is it?
It's about 2 feet tall. Well, okay, like a foot and a half. It's like a corgi size.
Oh, so little.
That helps. That helps.
Yeah, that makes it less of like an actual
Doggy.
monstrosity.
If it was like 3.5 feet tall, I would be deeply upset.
I adore this thing.
Adder, you have the feeling that you've gotten a good grade on this assignment.
We've created a hell beast. I don't care about grades.
I am sure everyone's little things are also
Yeah, it's got like button eyes, like soft, like glassy oval eyes.
Okay, I imagined
Glassy,
like
dead
a
inside.
little porcelain doll face with like little lipstick and like a
No,
tiny
it's
little nose.
a jester doll.
So with that, Kai starts to walk away, and very quickly, Ergo is like, "All right, we gotta go to orientation now. That thing, you all should probably come up with a name with it, and it will appear when you call out that name."
Okay,
Mother.
Oh dear.
My god, it can talk?
Apparently.
I think we did a great job here, guys.
Ergo, is that normal?
I don't think so.
Avery takes off their glasses, runs their hands through their hair.
hey, that just means
God.
ours is even better than normal, to be honest.
Better.
We're
We put extra
I
love.
don't want this thing whispering to me while I'm trying to sleep.
It looks over to you. Mother.
No.
Oh, it only knows one word. Guys,
Oh
we
my
can't
God.
keep calling them it.
I would say it
They're
is
a
disrespectful.
person.
don't
You
know
have
if
a
I
very
would
loose
say
definition of what makes a
person.
person.
I'm
Well,
glad.
They can talk.
Oh, is that the bar? Is that the bar for personhood?
okay. Well, we gotta come up with some names. What are you guys thinking? The first thing I think of is
Pebbles.
Jeff.
Jeff is good.
Jeff's a strong name.
I was thinking Jerry.
Strong name for a strong
Jerry, we
creature.
could do Jeffrey, and it would be sort of a cross between the two.
That it's because it's a cross of all the things that we
Jeffrey?
put in too.
Jeffrey isn't bad.
Whose last name do we give them?
I mean, I don't have a last
Nose
name.
goes, and Adder puts his finger on his nose.
Both hands up, away from her face, looking around.
Well, Daffodil, what is your last name? Does it go nicely with Jeffrey?
Is wall drop.
Jeffrey Waldrop. It does have a ring to it.
a bit of a cadence. I like that.
Well, we could just give it all of our last name.
Nope. No. No, thank you. No. Nope. Jeffrey Waldrop it is.
Jeffrey wall drop.
Jeffrey Waldrop has been signed in a sense. Jeffrey Waldrop the creation. All right, well, we better off go now. The orientation is going to be a speech and a voting, so let's get on it.
Appropriate for Jeffrey Waldrop to accompany us.
I can carry him.
I think it would be great if Waldrop stays inside.
No,
Sorry,
gotta let
buddy.
it roam, get some fresh air. I think we should bring him. Show everybody
Is that
this
normal for?
accomplishment.
Adder.
Do people bring their familiars?
Show
at all
them
normally?
what you did.
Nope. We're gonna leave it behind. You can stay in your room and hopefully not burrow.
Stay in the
I'm
room in the
sorry,
darkness where it
Jeffrey.
belongs, where it can't see the light of day.
There are so many friends in there for you.
Okay, anyway, let's go. And Avery quickly shifts away.
I know this whole world is very new to you, and I don't know how much human speech you understand, but mind your manners.
Please,
Yes, dear.
Lucas, I have to beg you to
So
stop
sweet.
talking to Jeffrey, because every time you talk to Jeffrey, Ash has to voice act that shit, and I have to hear it.
Well, get used to it, because Becca's gonna start teaching this thing all of its numbers and letters.
So we're gonna go on and we're gonna start heading.
Jeffrey jingles when they move the bells on the hat.
Oh no. We're gonna get going on to the next area so we don't
Yes.
stay here for too long on Jeffrey. And as we're moving along, you guys are walking through the hallway and you guys can actually see that there are a lot of marks along this building. It's pretty well kept, but there's only so much you can do when periodically somebody catches on fire, somebody grows a plant out of their arm and it strikes a wall. There's only so much you can do. Renovations are very active here. There's always a corridor that is under construction or reconstruction. And as you are making your way through the halls, you can see everybody walking into this large building, this large square building that seems to have actually bleachers that go in a circle around, which might not be the best design for inside, but whatever. You have to walk through in between a couple of the bleachers, and it looks a lot more like a stadium, a roofed stadium. And there is, out in the center, there is a little stand, and there is the principal on it, along with a few other teachers. Now, the principal is the black-haired individual that now has it tied back in such a way that only about a strand is actually kept in the ponytail, as the rest is just pushed back like a bush of just hair just flowing outwards of this human man, and in an actual suit and tie and no longer a Hawaiian shirt. With that, everybody's starting to get along the bleachers, and you're seeing a series of different students. A lot of them have a amulet worn on them that seems to be a circle of amber, and then in the center is iron or steel. It's hard to tell. Some sort of like silver gray metal. And with that, let's see. Let's describe the teachers that are up on the stand. You see a orc that has light gray / green skin, and hands that are fully gray, and the hair that is very long and just pitch black, and is just constantly flowing through the wind. It very much looks like a dramatic picture, just constantly, and his eyes and pose matches. He's always seems to be in a pose. There is a vibrant crimson tiefling with orange glowing eyes and green thumbs. Her dress is a pitch black dress that almost looks like it has stars in it of like bright glowing sparks, and like a cut along the side that goes up her thigh. She has her hair tied up with a series of bright flowers that make it go into a swirl. And then we also have up on the stage a janitor who is cleaning up some mess of like plant debris that seems to be left on this on this little stage that they seem to move into this building, because it's clearly not attached to the wooden floors. It's just thrown on top. It's just for this quick little talk. And soon enough, as the whole stage fills, the principal starts to talk. Hello, everyone. I am the principal, and I gather you here today to wish everyone a great new school year. We have lots of promising new students, and we have lots of students who have accomplished great things in their last year that we look forward to seeing more. You know, sometimes... Hang on 1 second. There's a... Okay, no worries. I think everything's fine. That student that just seems to be bleeding shadows, they're gonna be okay. Now, sometimes school can feel like that. Sometimes you feel like you're giving everything you got and that it's just slowly leaving your body, and then your eyes start to go pitch black and you start to sing out in different tongues. That happens to all of us, okay? Now, you've all made creations of bird and mice that come from your jacket. All of that is a regular thing. And you see that the principal, it seems like the principal has a speech, but is clearly getting every word mixed up with what he's staring at, as there seems to be a small goblin in the front row who has a large jacket on and is like holding themselves and clutching themselves closer and closer, and you can watch as their head veers back, and it's like Poltergeist-esque, where they're just like, ah, and their like mouth is like just shooting out shadows, their sleeves are shooting out shadows. It seems like these shadows are dripping out of them and forming creatures. And they don't have one of these amulets on either.
Well, you said it's normal.
And soon enough you hear, everyone take cover. How do you guys cover yourselves? How do you like get in a way away from this creature? What do you do to protect yourself?
Adder's pretty strong, so he's very much gonna like grab the nearest like desk or table and flip it over and duck behind it.
You're currently on like bleachers.
Oh,
Stomp his way through a bleacher and go down.
Okay, make a strength check.
oh, that's a good idea. Can I see what he's doing and try to help him with it?
Sure. You have advantage because also cat person's doing it too.
You can't refer to people as cat people, not because it's that big, because there's two of us.
19.
Okay. You break through the bleacher and you both drop underneath.
You guys want to jump down? And she's gonna open her arms for anybody to try and jump down.
Oh yes, please, thank you.
You drop into the arms of oh my goodness, why am I forgetting your character's name? Daffodil. You drop into the arms of Daffodil, who can just easily carry you.
Thank you. Just an entire pile of like petticoats and limbs just flomps down into Daffodil's arms. She blushes slightly.
Adder turns to whoever's not in the hole and it's just like, go ahead, jump, and all of his eyes and all of his, it's not a like comforting or nice sight, but it all just turns all at once. It's just like, jump.
Well, Avery will hold their breath and jump with their eyes closed.
Okay, Daffodil catches you, drops you.
Edwin is going to, in the now vacant space on the bleachers where there is a hole, he's going to crouch above the hole and get like in that crevice between the two bleachers, you know, where your feet go, and he's just gonna kind of like lay there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because 4 people are now gone, so I assume he has room to, and he doesn't want to jump down the hole.
So what you see as you don't jump down there is you actually see Ergo puts their foot up in front of you on like the bleacher in front of you in like a spare space, as like other people are like getting low and dropping down, and you watch as electricity starts to wind around their paws, and every crow and mouse that is just flying through the air, just swinging at people, just gets shot out by short and quick consecutive lightning shots that are quickly taking them out of the air. And then you look over to Akai, who is also on the top of the bleachers and is just like sighing a little bit, and like you're watching as all these crows fly at her, and they just break before they touch her, almost as if there's like a wind barrier or something blocking her off from getting hit. And quick enough, make a perception check for me.
Gotta give him the classic +0. 11. You don't understand, I have proficiency.
Oh no!
I'm sorry, Edwin.
A 7.
Sorry for your loss.
So you're watching all that happen, and you're watching as the principal quickly runs over, and you watch as the principal snaps and all the shadows start fading away as the principal holds eye contact with this person, and you watch as the principal's eyes change to that pitch black at the same time, And just slowly you start to watch as more and more of these crows and shadows start to disappear as the shadow starts to bleed back into the person. Like about a minute goes by before everything is clear now. Everybody can get back to their spots.
Adder, instead of climbing out, just breaks another hole in the bleachers.
Like out the side.
Yeah.
Alright, make a strength check.
Oh, that's an 8.
You punch one of the bleachers and it hurts your hand so bad. The side seems to be more reinforced as this is a complete circle.
How difficult does it seem to like climb back up the way we came? Isn't it awkward?
Not that difficult. You guys could climb out. It would just take like a moment for your characters.
Daffodil will give anybody a boost who needs it.
Okay, easy enough then. So soon enough you all get back to your spots and the teacher starts to go back along with his speech. And shortly enough,
Nothing happens.
the worst part is that you then start to realize that this speech wasn't just staring at somebody and being like, wow, those are some black eyes that are summoning some creatures. That was just his speech. Like, he just continues on with that motif. And by the end, the speech is completely lost in of itself. And he just ends it with, and so today we will be voting on who will be the principal for the next term.
Avery will lean over to Adder and say, Did he ask you to vote for him too, or was that...
My vote's for Akai. And then he's gonna lean back and be like, yeah, he asked me to vote for him too.
Becca raises her hand.
Did you have a question?
Pardon me, do you have a variety of pamphlets on the various candidates? I take my part in the democratic process very seriously.
Well, I could tell you a little bit about each of them. I know a little bit. I've been here a teacher for a couple years.
Oh, I don't want to interrupt any speeches, but that would be most helpful before we actually have to cast our vote. I would prefer to do my due diligence.
So, papers are being passed out to everyone
Oh, good.
to write who you're voting for on them. And they have Orvi, which gets explained. Orvi is the Orvi is the chant teacher. Very talkative. If you get him going, you
Nope.
won't get him to stop for an hour. Then we have Vix, who is the herbalist of the place. And they're a little quiet. They don't talk too often, and they just kind of she kind of keeps to her garden a lot. And the Goliath is just the janitor, but he'll probably be off the stage soon. And then there is Phil. Phil is the principal.
Lots of acronyms. It makes it very easy to remember. And what are each of these candidates' campaign promises? I mean, how do they intend to improve the school if they are elected?
I don't know if they have anything necessarily that they've been sharing. They're just
see.
running, I guess.
I see. So,
Democratic
They
process
do a
doesn't
good
sound
job?
very well thought out.
I mean, the school's still running, so about as good of a job as that.
I see.
What a low bar!
Oh, very curious democratic process.
Yeah,
Ergo, can I vote for you?
yeah.
Does that work?
I'm not up there on the stage. I mean, you could vote for me, but it wouldn't really do anything since I'm not in the running.
Yeah, but I don't really care about these guys anyway. Any of them.
Then yeah, you could vote for me. It'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, okay. Edwin writes down Ergo's name.
Well, I do not think I have sufficient information to make a responsible choice, so I will postpone my own vote, I think, until next term.
Adder just stares at her and is like, admirable. And he's gonna vote for Vic.
Do you think any of these other people could do a better job?
I personally... Vix might be able to do a better job. She's kind of got her shit together, but, you know.
Considering I have absolutely no information about basically any of these candidates, I suppose I will vote for Phil because He's in charge now, and the school hasn't burned down, so I can only assume that he's at least acceptable.
Competent at the least.
Tried and true.
Acceptable.
Acceptable isn't good enough. I'm gonna vote for Vix.
Okay. The voting goes through, and Phil looks down at the paper and looks over at a large Goliath that has a mop on his head and the mop taped to his back in like a janitorial like dark blue outfit, and then looks down at the paper again, looks back up, looks down at the paper. It would seem that this ceremony will also be a formal goodbye from me. When you try your best to run a place, sometimes things go awry. Sometimes they fill with shadow vermin and birds and eyes of a void, and sometimes that's all you see and you get caught up in it. And I would like to welcome our new running principal. Go ahead and step on up, principal. And he says that, and he points to Vix. And Vix walks forward and just waves her hand, drops the mic, and walks out.
Oh.
Adder immediately just stands up and goes, "Whoa!"
Phil picks up. As your new janitor, I would like to clean up this this meeting. Meeting adjourned. Have a good one. You'll see me in the halls. If you see me with a mop and bucket, just remember the name, Phil.
Does the old janitor get released?
The Goliath was the previous principal.
They disappear into smoke. They've been freed from their fucking bargain.
You watch as Phil walks out of the auditorium of this stadium-esque room with the Goliath, who is just constantly patting his back.
Well, that's a shame, but it should teach him not to become complacent in his position. I mean, running for such an important office without even a proper campaign and promises to the people, I'm not sure what he was expecting.
I mean, he can always run again next year. Presumably.
Or term, he said. I don't know if that's a year or not.
I don't know.
A new principal?
This democratic process
every
is
term?
both confusing and lacking.
So with that, you are all released. As you get back to your room, you actually see a couple boxes stacked outside, and you actually see a letter left from your mom and dad, officially signed by them.
Yeah, Adder immediately opens it.
It has travel tickets into it, and it has writing explaining about how they're going to have a show, and that they would love to see Adder, and that pretty much they're going to supply you with any means of travel if it will allow you to see them. And they also want you to write whenever you have a school event to see if they can be able to make it.
Gotcha. So, like, once he gets a handle of, like, his classes and the academic calendar and shit, he'll, like, outline, you know, these are the, like, exams and tests and shit that I need to be worrying about. Is there anything in your events that I could, like, make sure I don't miss? Yeah, that whole thing.
Yeah. And, like, if you have, like, a school fair going on, a play, they want to be there for it.
Yeah. So Adder folds that up, sticks it in his pocket, and, like, I guess muscles the chests into the room that is shared with everyone and very small.
And very
He probably
full
knocks
already.
over. He
And
probably
very
knocks
many
over a couple
dolls.
dolls on the way and just does not give a shit. Just
As
drags
you
his shit over
enter
his bed.
alone, all of the dolls turn to look at you.
So you're sure they're not enchanted in any sort of way?
The second verse, same as the first. All of his
Also-
individual hair heads turn to look at them in return.
You're like, I can do that too, fucker.
Adder, as you walk into the room, You watch as you hear plop 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 plop.
No.
As you watch your creature run up to you, looking around the room as much as it can by just shifting its whole body with its legs, looking around the room, and it's mother.
Adder's gonna like lean down. Adder's gonna lean down and be like, "If you're gonna say anything, say fun." Thanks. And he's gonna pat it on its gross little head and drag his shit into the room.
Yes, I agree. We do need to teach it. Oh, dear. Yeah, that's it, sweetie. Father.
Father.
He's gonna learn the language from two people who don't pronounce their R's. Father. Father forever.
Father.
Father, please.
Oh, well done.
At least I'm not making it say daddy.
Well done, sugar.
And with that,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Adder is 16.
Well, they didn't say it, so it's fine. Nobody said it.
Gross.
Daddy.
No!
Nobody said anything.
Edward.
Edwin.
Oh,
Jeffrey's a
God.
Jeffrey Waldrop is my favorite.
This was beautiful. This was all beautiful.
Hey, did you enjoy episode 1? If you did, leave a comment, let us know. Our next episode will be uploaded not this coming Friday, but the one after, so the 30th? Also, if you're interested, we have a Discord link in the description that has all elemental rules and such. This show is just getting started, and I'm super excited to see where it goes. I hope you'll enjoy it with us.